PlayStation just dropped a stacked March lineup. Wolverine finally has a release date. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 might have leaked. Naruto still in limbo. And Paramount just pulled off one of the wildest media power moves we've seen in years. Yeah, let's talk about it. Welcome to episode 27 of KB Talks, the show where gaming, movies, and anime all collide. I'm KB, and today we got a loaded episode. But before we get started, make sure you're subscribed so on Tuesdays and Saturdays, you're here for the gaming live streams. We're trying to build something different over here. Now let's jump right into it. Let's start with PlayStation Plus for March. Your monthly games are PGA Tour 2K25, Monster Hunter Rise, Slime Rancher 2, and Elder Scrolls Online. This is actually a sneaky balanced lineup. You got sports, you got grind heavy monster hunting, you got cozy farming chaos, and you've got a full blown MMO. But Monster Hunter Rise alone is hundreds of hours if you let it consume your soul. Respect your free time. Also, Elder Scroll Online is that that could also easily take over your life. But outside of PlayStation Plus, things are getting interesting. Marvel's Wolverine officially releases September 15th. They just dropped it on a random Tuesday, but for me, Insomniac don't miss Spider-Man 1, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2. They understand combat weight and emotional storytelling. If I had to rank it, it would be so far it's Miles, Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2. I only have Spider-Man 2 that low because I feel like it's a good game, but you can see the wasted potential. But for for Wolverine, I think it'll be good. I just want to know how they're gonna do the healing factor. Is it gonna be like Marvel Wolverine's origins, or just they're gonna do it a different way? But I think that's the perfect way to do it. As he gets damaged, you see layers of skin peel off, and then as he get more health, the skin comes back. But so far, I've liked what I've seen from Wolverine, but I'm just trying to get used to the model and the voice because I'm used to Steve Blum as Wolverine. But if they can nail the brutality and lean into the mature tone, this could be PlayStation next big hit. And then somebody at Bandai Namco hit upload a little too early. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 was allegedly discovered in a Southeast Asian YouTube playlist before being pulled. That's not how you want your marketing reveal to happen, because so far it was still called Dragon Ball Age 1000. So it had people wondering, is it Xenoverse 3? Is it Dragon Ball Online? But this put this put all those rumors to rest. It's officially Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Now, Listen, my hopes for Xenoverse 3 is just a better quality game than 2. Add a bunch of lifestyle updates. Have characters' hair change when they transform. Give like, I might be asking for too much, but have like uh set, I don't want to say fighting style, but have a set fighting style, and then when you transform, you could it changes to something else. Just for switch up sake. But hope, we know it's not coming no time soon. Maybe 2027 is what they're aiming for. So we got like a whole another year. But probably a little longer than that. But moving on, Warner Brothers Game CEO JB Peretti teased major release plans for 2027 and 2028. It sounds like to me they're trying to rebuild after the turbulence around some of the recent live series experiments like the Suicide Squad. It sounds like WB is recalibrating towards bigger, safer, stronger IP plays. Now, I don't know how this works because right now we're gonna we're gonna talk about it more later, but right now they're about to be bought by Paramount because Netflix backed out after Paramount's recent new offer. But I just hope they if if Paramount buy them, they just let them do their thing. But they're just under Paramount. But I think Warner Brothers games, your main focus should be reestablishing faith in the Warner Brothers game brand because people have no faith. All we're getting right now is a Lego Batman game. It looks good, but people have no faith. If I was them, you saw Marvel's rival pop off, copy that. Then make a Justice League game to where you could use different characters. Bring a new Batman game because Batman brings money, so that's guaranteed money. Uh, Me personally, give me a Flash game, Green Arrow. Like you could, y'all could do like, hey, we don't want to. You could test interest, make $40 games, so it's not the same. Y'all don't have to make the same investment as the larger $70 games. Like it's steps you could take to easily bring people back in, but it's all up. It's all up to the studio. If I was Warner Brothers, I would try to drop 4 games a year, one in each quarter. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be all by the same studio. Bring back that Wonder Woman game. You have the Nemesis system. Throw that in every game you're making. Fucking. And then I only been talking about DC. Make make uh make Harry Potter too, like Hogwarts too. You already have a solid base foundation. Now two, y'all could explore some stuff, and I think it could be a really good game. But you have a bunch of stuff underneath the Warner Brothers IP. And then if they're bought up by Paramount, you could even add some of those into the games. Like right now, you could give us a monster fighter game. We had all the you could use the horror monsters, you could use Godzilla, Kong, all them other kaiju, and give us multiple 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 games of different IPs. Like DC should be the $1 billion. It should bring in about $1 billion revenue per game. That's how easy that should be. But they keep. If I was them, no more live service except uh the Marvel's variable comp. But other than that, I wanna believe them, but I'll just have to wait and see. But all right, that's the gaming battlefield. Now it's time to step into the anime streets. So 3 years ago, 4 new Naruto episodes was announced. They were postponed in fall 2023, and since then, silence. Naruto deserves better communication than this. The fan base is massive. Just give people transparency. Hope is not a release strategy. Just tell people, hey, we're having more trouble than we thought. I mean, it's only 4 episodes, and it's been a year. But if I was them, I'd be like, hey, those episodes aren't coming till 2027, 2028, just to give y'all a good runtime. Like, I don't know if they're actively working on it or they're just still trying to write up the script. How, cause it says 4 new episodes, so they're trying to make something brand new, and it's probably just not working out. But if I was them, I'd like I'd just be like, hey, we're still working on it. Like, just give some type of update, because they just been radio silent, and people's like, for 4 episodes, you can't be like, you can't give us an update. But moving on from that, the manga piracy site MangaDex is reportedly going corporate, which is fascinating because it's it's a fan run platform. I don't know how they're gonna I don't know how they're gonna do everything because they have they have Korean manga on there, they have regular manga. They would have to they would literally have to go into each market and basically become bigger than Viz Media, because right now the popping thing is manhwas because they're fully colored. They're fully colored. They come out week to week. Always always on point. But that's just my curiosity. How are they gonna? Because I know they don't the the Korean man was the people behind them don't really like it, I guess, leaking out to people. But we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Be- Apparently, Crunchyroll started the same way, and look at Crunchyroll now. But I don't like Crunchyroll because the way they're doing things now. But the manga ecosystem is shifting. They they just recently won a they won something against Cloud Cloudflare because they host all the manga piracy sites. So I don't know how they're gonna do it because they, if they're going corporate, they have to admit that at one point they were a manga piracy site. But moving on, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc movie 2 is confirmed for future projects beyond 2026 at UFO table, which means they are taking their time. And we already know the animation about to be crazy. But me personally, I think Demon Slayer should be over by now. Why is it still going? The the manga isn't that long. They're at this point they're just I don't want to say milking it, but you you started off with the anime, now you're doing movies. The movies look nice, but I feel like it's not really getting anywhere. But that's just me. uh, I know Demon Slayer is insanely popular, and I'm just saying the manga been over for a while. It looks like their plan is just movie, and finish it out that way. But that's their choice. And now, before we move on to what's happening over in Hollywood, I got I got to give my two recommendations: my manga of the episode and my comic book of the episode. So the manga of the episode is called "Let's Eat a Pie in the Sky." It's something. This is something different from what I normally recommend. This is a slower pace manga, almost slice of life, but it was originally titled, I'm about to butcher this, Kyo Mo I ni Kaida Mochi ga Umai, which literally referenced the Japanese idiom painted rice cakes, meaning beautiful dreams you can't actually eat. The story flips the concept. A starving artist named Toga enters a world where his drawings come to life. Food, he can draw it. Monsters, he can draw it. It's creative, physiological, and quite quietly emotional. It's also about loving impractical ideas even when they don't feed you. All all the artists, content creators, everybody's trying to start something on their own will all feel this manga. And now moving on to the comic book of the episode. I don't normally repeat recommendations back to back, but this one is kind of important. So it's the new history of the DC universe, the Dakota incident. The writers of this comic are trying to push to get an ongoing series for one of these characters, maybe more, but probably Static would be the easiest. But basically, the main premise of the comic is the current timeline of the DC universe. We haven't seen characters like Static, Rocket, or Icon. None of these characters have been seen for a while because there's a certain incident that happened in the early days of the DC universe during during the time Lex Luthor was president. And they forced the characters in Dakota to basically retire while also threatening them at the same time. It got it got so bad the Justice League had to step in. Characters were retired up until the current issue of DCKO, where Static reappears to fight Granny Goodness. It's a really good read, so I won't spoil anything for you. But I just want to say, please go out and get this issue. Go read New History of DC Universe, the Dakota Incident. You could buy it physical for $6, or it's probably on the DC Comics app, whatever app they have to read. But please go out and get that issue. Once again, the manga of the episode is Let's Eat a Pie in the Sky, and the comic book is New History of the DC Universe, the Dakota Incident. Go check those two out when you got the time, especially the comic book. And now we're on to Hollywood. So, first up, we got our first actual look at God of War, the Amazon series. We got a picture of Kratos and Atreus. I'm a little iffy with Kratos. I need to see it in motion. But I need a full beard, and Atreus, it doesn't, he don't have the same hairstyle or look as the game. So it threw me off a little bit. But as y'all could see in the picture, this is what it's looking like. I need to see it in motion. But I know trying to translate Kratos in a live action is risky because the games look as good as they do. Then another thing is they're starting in a Norse arc instead of the original Greek era. Like for me personally, it would have hit more if you started from the Greek history. But the first two seasons would have been like the first God of War game. Like, they're only doing 8 episodes, so the first you could do the first game and just do. If I were doing it, just do 2 seasons a game. So you could start from uh not God of War 1. I think it's called Ascension. That's that's the one that leads into God of War 1. So you start from that and God of War 1. Use that for the first 2 seasons. The second 2 seasons, God of War 2. Then the third game is the next two. Then once we transition into once we transition once we transition into the Norse mythology, it would hit harder because we've been with, even though the game's been around forever, this is TV. It would hit harder if it was a build up to Norse mythology. Because I guarantee you, a bunch of people who never played God of War is gonna watch this show, so they're not gonna understand the meaningful moments of Kratos having a new son and having a new family. Kratos being a lot kinder, less rage filled. They will. It won't hit the same, but that's their choice to make, and I just hope it comes out good. Cause I've always said, me personally, I would have put that shit on HBO Max, because you put it on HBO Max, it's guaranteed it's guaranteed to be a fire show, because that HBO is like the pinnacle for quality of television. But they've done well with The Boys and Invincible. So, and it showed, those two show they're willing to show gore and everything that needs to be shown. But moving on, we got a new trailer for Mortal Kombat 2. The first movie was cool, but they should have just focused on Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Luke. Luke Kane should be the To me, Luke Kane should be the main character. The sequel looks bigger, better, and we could tell this one is an actual tournament, as Mortal Kombat should be. But we've seen no Cole in the trailer at all. Now, for people who don't remember, Cole is the made up character they made just for the first Mortal Kombat movie. I I think it was funny that a lot of people online say they should just kill him off screen, and then have the guy that played him turn into Kenshi. I agree with that, because Cole was not it. Like, we care about Mortal Kombat for the characters that have been around forever, not somebody they made for the movie. Like, people wanted to see Liu Kang, Kung Lao, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, uh, not Cole. Now, the trailer looks good. I just My main problem is they picked Carl Urban for Johnny Cage. It it just doesn't look right. to my eyes, but I'll because I like him, I'll give it a shot. But they could have easily picked like the Miz or somebody else to make it actually fit. Because it's it seems like from the trailer they're going for a washed up version of Johnny Cage. That's probably why they picked an older person for for Johnny Cage, but I hope this movie is better than the first one. It looks good. I'm gonna go to the movies for this one. And then finally, the big one. Paramount has reportedly won the bidding war for Warner Brothers after Netflix stepped down. If finalized, Paramount will now control HBO, CNN, CBS, DC Studios, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, Paramount Plus, Nickelodeon, MTV, Showtime, TNN, Comedy Central, TCM, and IPs like Harry Potter, DC Comics, Game of Thrones, The Lord of the Rings, Transformers, SpongeBob, Avatar, The Last Airbender, Mission Mission Impossible, Mortal Kombat, Star Trek, TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Looney Tunes, Beetlejuice, Gremlin, Dora. This is media consolidation on a massive scale. Studios merging means fewer competition, but also potentially bigger crossover synergy. This this sent the biggest shockwaves when it was announced. And a lot of people are not happy with this one because of how the owners of Paramount is moving and what side of the fence they're on. But me personally, I would have preferred if Apple stepped in and bought Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers would have been a perfect acquisition for Apple. But Apple main thing is still the iPhone, the iPad, and all their Apple products. But I think if if they got serious about their TV, their TV and movie division, if they was really getting serious about it, they could have bought Warner Brothers. But that's that's how I feel about everything. Let me know if you think Paramount taking over Warner Brothers is a good thing or a bad thing. I will say now we might get like certain crossovers, like they could give us an animated Transformers and DC collab or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles DC collab. It'll be easier to make those type of things. But that's the full rundown across gaming, anime, movies, and television this week. Major move, surprise leaks, industry shakeup, and we're only in March. If there's a topic you think we should break down next, let me know down below in the comments or hit me on Twitter at KB Streams. This is KB Talks, the place where gaming, anime, movies collide. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.